It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll be watching Terry McLaurin. He's been a production machine with a 1,200-yard season going to this point. It's the Commanders and the 49ers, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
It's a pretty frigid December day in our nation's capital. We got our Space Eaters on full blast up in the booth at FedEx Field. Today, Week 17 is upon us, and we've got a good one in store here, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Washington Commanders. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin on this final day of 2023, New Year. The final 2-week stretch of the 2023 regular season, and we are underway, Week 17 here on this New Year's Eve. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. But the Niners offense set to go to work, and it's last year's revelation, Brock Purdy, who leads them out in season number 2 from Iowa State.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Purdy's throw pulled in by Kittle. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Here's Purdy. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. He'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone. The numbers for McCaffrey last week, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total is scary. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he's going to be stopped close to the first down marker at Washington's 12-yard line. 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Give running right is Mitchell. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. Touchdown 49ers. George Kittle, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers are on the board first here this afternoon. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Moody good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Commanders set to go to work on offense, and they've handed the controls to this man in his 2nd NFL season, former Tar Heel Sam Howell.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
And hoping to get rid of that interception ball. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Here's a screen for Robinson. Oh, some strong running. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. So the completion there, Charles, looking at this defense, certainly in for a tough task here this afternoon. What are some of the keys for them if they want to come out on top?
Well, the first thing, partner, is they just allow completion there. They don't want to get a string of those going. Let him get his confidence. Let him get into the rhythm of the game, the flow of the game, and all of a sudden, he's feeling like he can do no wrong. You want to really get after his timing a little bit, knock a few balls away, and make things uncomfortable for him. Because if he feels relaxed, you are in for a tough afternoon.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. With a play fake, and now here's how to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Howell from the gun. This is Fant on the short completion. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. It's a pickup of 6.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Back to throw, Howell. That's Samuel, caught left side. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Commanders are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Oh, dangerous return man showing it here. Still going past the 30. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, 49ers. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Now Moody for the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Well, we talk a lot about explosive plays on offense. How about an explosive play on special teams? Certainly one there on the kick return for a touchdown. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 6. Gibson here running out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Washington on a pickup of 11.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It was Eric Armstead coming up quickly and dropping him for a loss.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Again, it's Robinson. And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Andrew Thomas. And the 49ers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Out is their quarterback with this offense to take over once more. He was 4-4 on that opening drive, including the touchdown pass, as he'll try again here to duplicate that success, starting with a 1st down. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Purdy. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. The Niners at 11-4 now on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Connects with Kittle underneath. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Purdy. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Purdy now on 2nd down. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. And this one is right through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
A 7-yard pickup.
Now Howell. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
That's good for a Washington Commanders. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
Let's go a little aggressive, baby.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Final play of the half. Purdy. That's caught. He finds Danny Gray. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And it's the Giants who are out in front. A touchdown there for Saquon Barkley. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville.
All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting more pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
A big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Powell out of the shotgun. This one left side caught by Gibson. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. Down to the 42, second down. And we're going to stop play here, at least momentarily. It looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Here's a 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Howell. Complete, it's Dodson. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 31-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first. On the counter, this is Robinson. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, it's tough time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Let's go. 2nd and 9. Howell now to throw it. And incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
Play action. Now Purdy. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack. Throwing on second down, it's Purdy. Connects with Kittle underneath. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down.
as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Back to the ground on first, it's McCaffrey. And he'll take this down to the 33.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
Purdy now to throw off the play action. And he will find his man Samuel. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 22 yards there, a first down. So another on-target throw, and that last one, Charles, going to put him up over 5,000 yards passing out for the season, and that is not an insignificant number.
Indeed it is not, because this is not a...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Christian McCaffrey. That's his 19th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Niners will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Moody good with the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Commanders 7. Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Second down throw for Howell. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. It's Jair Brown who's got it. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown. Deebo Samuel, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the 49ers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the 2 teams by far, and that's great complementary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
Moody good with the extra point, and the lead is now 24.
Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this third quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Throwing here, Howell. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Jair Brown who's got it. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 73 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that, going back and watching tape and being able to say we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers during the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Terry McLaurin. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 98 yards. And the Commanders get a bit closer. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. They've got the 2-score lead. Look, though, they fumbled last possession, led to a touchdown. So while things look good here at this stage in the 4th, they got to be careful.
They definitely do because they've actually brought them back into it, haven't they? They've given them hope once again. Their purpose on this drive, squash that hope one more time.
Well, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
The Niners on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They go play action here. Purdy. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the 49ers are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Moody good with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23.
Commanders 15. Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Here's Hal to throw on 2nd down.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's brought down. And they're going to speed things up here. Hal to the air on 1st and 10. Past the 20. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now Hal. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So take away the touchdown. It's kind of been one of those games for these guys.
I think it's safe to say that that type of a play just added to their misery, right?
Another throw for Howell. This is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Commanders are able to cut into that deficit.
He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple more times to give them a chance.
And now the Washington offense going to stay out there and go for 2. Howell throwing for it.
Flush to his right. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the 49er hands team does its job. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now a give right side McCaffrey. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
109 yards now for McCaffrey. It's a first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point in the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football, because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
That one looks like he'll throw here. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Here's Purdy.
And he slings one that's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
That's Samuel, caught left side. Touchdown 49ers. Deebo Samuel, his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the 49ers stretch this fourth quarter lead even further, and they are closing in on win number 12 of the season. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
The extra point try now for Moody.
And the lead is now 24. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it's Deebo Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception.
Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga.
And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
A loss of 11 yards. It's second down.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk.
Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. He's got it. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line.
2nd and goal from the 1.
McCaffrey diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. So another rushing touchdown for him this year. Boy, he's found the end zone quite a bit so far. Charles, that now an even 20 scores on the season.
And you know how often we use the term, probably I overuse the term, imposing their will? Well, these defenses have become really powerless to stop him. That's what we've seen from him and his team this year. You know he's getting the ball down here in the red zone, but he's just got that strength of will himself, and he's used it to great effect.
Moody good with the extra point.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Commanders 21. Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And that final kickoff concludes the ball game, partner. And one side, a really nice win in this one. They were good on offense and on defense.
And I'm guessing in the other locker room, partner, the head coach is just telling his team, hey, we didn't play well enough to keep it close enough where that one possession down the stretch might have given us an opportunity to win the game.
So for San Francisco,
they improved their mark to 12-4 with 1 game to go.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Landover.